welcome back to Non-Standard Actions Series 5, Strength of Thousands. This is episode 2, Public Service. Joining me today around our virtual tabletop are my wonderful friends and players, Jet, Joel, Kat, Tom, and Leif. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Perfect. Well done. Getting into our usual routine, let's start with our icebreaker. This week, it's courtesy of Jet, ? I'm not sure if this is our Jet or someone masquerading as Jet, but
I think it's a masquerade.
That's going around.
It's not the real Jet. Well, they've done a great job because they asked a great question. How would you define true friendship? Jet, let's start with you.
Okay, I am Jet, he, him. I play Akina, she, her. And Akina would define true friendship probably as community and a willingness to always pitch in and offer a helping hand when someone's in need.
Joel, what about Elias?
Yeah, I thought about the question similarly. My wife and I are big on love languages, and so what's your love language? And I kind of approached it from that perspective. And I think Elias's love language is also acts of service. So he's big. His whole life he was in kind of a subordinate role to he was an apprentice role to a blacksmith where he was from. So he knew that the best way that he could help out is by pitching in. So he defines love as serving others and sacrificing and offering a helping hand as well. So kind of very similar.
Very nice. Kat, what about Revi?
So Revi is a kobold, and kobolds are big in community. So they need to trust in one another. So Revi sees friendship as knowing that you can trust, trusting others and knowing that they will trust you in return.
About Rix and Megara.
Rix defines friendship as true friendship, I should say. True friendship is found in someone who can share a laugh with you, as well as, somebody who's there. It sounds very cliche, but someone who's there through thick and thin, right? They're there for your victories as well as for your failures, and when you're at your lowest as well as at your highest. Somebody you can have, ultimately, somebody who is great to have a conversation with. Somebody who will listen as well as speak.
Leif, what about Marook?
Marook sees friendship as more of a mutually beneficial contract between two individuals. Something more likely than not that is equitable for at least himself.
Interesting. Making notes.
I am so terribly curious about Marook's alignment. And I don't want Leif to say it out loud, but I'm just going to keep guessing.
Well, we'll get there, friend. We'll get there, I'm sure.
So let's get back into the action here. For a hero point, what happened last week at the Magambia? Jet.
Do you want us to go in order of events that happened, or in order of things that were made impacts upon our character?
Give me something that happened last week.
Akina adopted a little origami frog made out of socks and named them Reginald, and now they live in their room.
Yep, that was a big thing. Joel, what else happened?
Yeah, perhaps less significant. We began attending the university here, and we met I want to say principal or headmaster. I don't know what his title is, but he's teacher Ott. Yeah. We met Teacher Ott and gave us kind of our entry interview. And we got some nice background on the school in general, Old Man Jatembe, which I thought was super dope. and I'm super excited to continue to explore whatever is going on. I'm very, very curious.
Kat, what else happened last time?
We met a couple of our fellow students. The Amaroon, shoot, how do we say his name? Chizure?
Yeah, sure.
Chizire?
I've been saying I think Chizire is what I've been saying.
Chizire. Okay, there we go. Chizire. The slightly suspicious catfolk gentleman, and a little gnoll buddy who Revy definitely wants to meet because they're adorable.
Yeah. She sort of ducked out of the way when she saw y'all entering the dorm.
Very small.
Oh, and then the our guide too, her as
Essie.
well.
Yeah.
Essie.
Essie is the one who has been showing you around. And we left off with you all about to go meet her for dinner. Tom, what else happened?
Well, the aforementioned spell skein there was another spell skein, and I use was in a very appropriate sense because Megara murked it, and right out the gate was just sort of perhaps a little too defensive of Rick's, and afterwards sort of worried that he had offended or desecrated perhaps the guardian of this dormitory. But Rick's assured him that, and Essie did as well, that they're just, mostly little harmless leavings of magic that reside in the laundry room, and that he shouldn't worry too much about it. Tom did lose sleep over it that night, though.
Oh.
As you should have.
Because Jet wouldn't let him not.
Leif, what else?
I might say Leif slept like a baby that night. But most important thing that happened last session, the most important thing that happened was Marook got his room. And I suppose the rest of us did as well. But Marook got his room. It's all set up. He's making it proper spooky. It's great.
He's got some space to spread out. No one else is allowed.
He posted a magical sign that says Marook's room, keep out.
Oh, I have one more important thing because I was thinking of sneaking into Marook's room rather, which made me think of we found a secret tunnel.
Oh yes, you did.
Secret tunnel.
I'm gonna say cue secret tunnel.
Yes, cue this. YouTube. No. But yes, we found a secret tunnel that seems to. We don't know where it goes to, but you bet your bippy that we're going to explore it sometime soon.
It goes secret places. That's where it goes. You're
Tunnels
muted, Nick.
under your dorm. I'm not muted.
No, it's just there was a delay on the mic. It's fine.
That's what it was.
We heard you.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's all. Pretty much all the important things.
We do have one other important thing to do.
What?
We need to describe our characters for those that only listen to us. We didn't do that very well last time.
We actually forgot to describe your characters for the podcast. You've had some time to settle into the Spire dormitory. And it's getting on towards dinner time. So you guys are going to head out to meet Essie, who promised to show you show you around campus after you'd settled in a bit. You guys want to describe your characters as you sort of come down?
Sure. Since I've been champing at the bit, I'll just go and get it out of the way. Akina is about 6'10". She's a Garundi woman, fairly dark complected. She has vibrantly purple hair. It's sort of medium length and poofy on top, very, very short on the sides, and then braided and kind of shaved into kind of a web pattern. And she wears some bracelets, like loose circlets around her wrists and ankles, and loose flowing, blue, yellow, black clothes, something that allows her a lot of freedom of movement. And she has her holy symbol hanging off of a belt or a sash alongside a kukri that's made from the chitin or the mandible of a very large insect. And just a very agile, sort of willowy person.
Yep. And then Elias is similarly lanky, tall and lanky, though he is considerably heavier. He's got more armor on than Akina. He has the sleeves cut off of his armor to allow for more flexibility and mobility, but he wears pretty thick armor, and he's constantly wearing his shield. His dad was a member of a society, traveling, adventuring society, and he was advised to never go anywhere without his armor or his shield, even when you think it's absolutely safe. So, because you never know what's going to happen. So he's usually at least wearing his armor. He doesn't want to get caught without it. So that's him. He's got dark hair, got a hint of blue in his hair and a streak of white hair. He is a half elf. So tall, lanky, dark-haired, half elf.
Kat, you're talking, but we can't hear you.
I know, I caught it. Revi is a bronze kobold. Pretty darn short, about 2'8". Short even for a kobold. Looks rather like a crested gecko, you might say. Kind of awkward, large hands and feet. Let's see. Kind of usually wears like a long scarf that wraps around their entire body. And trousers. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably soon after Revi leaves, we might have even been talking as we walk down out onto the patio of this dormitory. You see Rix, who stand not that it's a competition of shortness, but Rix stands at 1 foot and 1 inch tall. Yes. I don't know my fascination with playing short characters, but there it is. So Rix is a Draxi, which is defined as a heritage of Sprite, although Sprites don't really see themselves in that light necessarily, but rather just as different varieties of Sprite. It's a Draxi. I'm not a Sprite, I'm a Draxi. So Rix is a Draxi. He has sort of frill going down the center of his head, almost like a fish's frill, which I rather like. And his scales are blue with any frills across his body, sort of a deep foresty green. He has a frill on his tail, which he has a tail, and clawed feet that are sort of poking out of some almost trousers. He wears light clothing, no armor or anything like that, just sort of some comfy explorer's clothing, if you will, with a nice cloak. And he has sort of, some equipment across his chest, mostly his medical tools, but also, some scrolls that he uses to record stories and recite them. Has a walking stick with a bindle on it. He is very clearly somebody who is accustomed to traveling and traveling light. And then behind him is Megara, who is a giant snake. Please picture, if you will, a giant snake, but vibrant reds, oranges, and yellows across his scales. If you're looking for an image that gave inspiration to this, look up the African bush viper, which is a really, really cool kind of snake that has these awesome, beautiful scale patterns. Notably, both of them share this rune, which is impossible for me to describe to you, but it is on the art if you're on our Discord and or see us on Twitter. And that rune is glowing brilliantly with the other's color whenever Megara is manifested.
It looks like it's a line, and it looks as though someone has taken blue shoelaces back and forth across it.
I was going to say 2 X's stacked on top of each other with a line through them.
That
Okay,
also
so it wasn't
works.
impossible. I guess I'm just lazy.
It can't be done. It cannot be done.
Impossible.
Like
Also-
I said, impossible to describe.
Also, I just love this idea of Elias talking about how he removes the sleeves of his armor for just ease of movement. And I'm just picturing him getting a brand new suit of plate mail and just like putting the whole thing on and then reaching over like it's a t-shirt and just grabbing the sleeve and just ripping it off.
No, so how you do it with metal is you cut right through the middle of the sleeve and then you cut around the armpit. It's a very technical thing, but he's an excellent blacksmith, so he manages it no problem.
Yeah, Ghost says stacked asterisks for the symbol.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, man, it is. Well, anyway, it was based off a really cool rune that I've already forgotten what I based it off of. And it has some really cool history behind it, though, and meanings. There are meanings, but I don't remember them. So, Marook, take it away.
Marook is a jet black Tengu with piercing white eyes. He stands at about 4'10", just under 5 feet. And he wears not super elaborate, but very fine purple robes trimmed in gold. And he carries a walking stick, or a staff, if you will, with an innocuous hooded lantern with strangely blue flames glowing inside. And everywhere he goes, he's accompanied by his best friend, as we all remember the definition of friend by Marook's terms, Lucius, the common crow, also with piercing white eyes.
Common. Definitely.
Yeah, common crow.
We believe that about as far as we can throw Megara. The 5 foot tall snake.
Yeah.
So this group meets Essie back in the common room after taking some time to settle in, because she's offered to show you the other 2 parts of campus you're most likely going to want to know. And those would be the dining hall and, man, Roll20, you're so slow. Make me look like I don't have things open. And the student's supply store, the powder pile. Let me pull up the map of campus here for you, so you can kind of see what we're looking at.
Ooh, cool.
This is
shiny
super
new map.
pretty.
Do you guys see the map tags, or are those hidden on my GM layer?
Those are
I think they're hidden on your GM layer.
Ah, well, then let me show you where you're at. You guys,
Also, Roll20 is going slow for me too, so it's not just you, Nick. There must be something going on.
probably are
We now see the
Inspire
Spire
dormitory.
dormitory.
That's where you guys live. And Essie takes you down to the dining hall over here.
This is equally
map-
as important.
Yeah, we're close. That's like just a couple
Oh,
buildings away.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what you
Boy.
want.
There are
Yeah.
some other dorms nearby, but the dining hall is right down the path from you. It's a huge kitchen warm facility with handsome mosaics and plenty of seating. Though most students take their meals outside on sunny days, the hall is popular. You see plenty of people around, even though it's not quite dinner time yet. Everybody's inside because it's raining again. Folks are seated at long tables, eating sliced mango or plantains from wide, shallow baskets. As you come inside, this woman comes out to greet you. Ah, hello, you must be new students. I'm Lumasi Yao. Pleasure to meet you.
And you as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Don't.
Now, Nick, I have a question. I see these awesome giant statues surrounding this central island. Who be they? Are they like statues of Chitembe's magic warriors?
You're not there. Also, I don't have a like in the back of many of these AP books. There is a comprehensive like, here is everything that's on this area map.
Okay.
This book does not have that.
Interesting.
Because there is so much other back matter that they did include.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what these represent on this art.
I'm just
it might
shooting my
come
shot.
up
I'm
later.
calling it.
It might be further into the book and I just haven't gotten there yet. But I don't have it off the top of my head.
Shoot my shot. Statues of the magic warriors, and we're going to be under siege at some point, and they're going to be either operated as mechs or giant golems.
Could be. Who knows? We have 6 books, right? But we were in the dining hall talking to.
I'm so sorry.
This person who just introduced himself.
Lamusi, yeah.
Lamusi Yao. The dining hall here is my domain. There are 2 meals a day, and the dining hall is open from sunrise until 2 hours after sunset each day. Here, take these beads. Most of the workers know students by sight, but this will mark your status as students. This is your dining hall card. It is a small glass bead shaped like a piece of fruit.
Okay, because I know we got one from Teacher Ott.
Teacher Ott. Yes.
Yes, that one marked that he was the one to conduct your initial interview.
Okay. And then
Marook takes his bead and stares at it for a good couple of seconds, moving it around at his fingers, and then puts it on his ever-growing chain of beads hanging from his lantern.
I think much like before, Akina will take her beaded necklace off, slide one of the beads off, and then put it right next to the Teacher Ott bead, and then subtly slip the metallic bead that she took off of her necklace over to Marook.
You said that just as Leif got out of their chair.
Sorry, I've got a headache form, and I'm looking for my Tylenol. But Marook doesn't, and he will take this bead as well and put that one in his pocket with the other silver bead.
Marook is just accumulating beads. Feel free to come by anytime you're hungry. Like I said, we serve breakfast and dinner, but we're open all day if you need a snack or a place to sit and do your studying, whatever you need.
Megara will say to Rix, and then Rix will, I don't know, I guess Megara will hiss at her in, whatchamacallit? Sylvan. Yeah, and say, what are the range of your meal offerings each day?
She looks good-naturedly from Megara to Rix. She says, don't worry. We have plenty of things for your friend to eat as well.
Wonderful. Rix.
We're used to all types here.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned 2 meals. Only 2?
We just serve 2, but we're open the rest of the day as well with grab and go.
Okay, good.
Type snacks. There's usually some mango and plantains, fresh bread, things like that you can grab at any time during the day. But 2 hot meals, breakfast and dinner.
I just thought of something. Akina will lean in and whisper, I have a unusual diet. I'm from the Nightfell Forest in Garund. Do you happen to have...
Yes, we have you covered as well.
Okay.
You'll find an assortment of dried insects on that wall.
Excellent.
Marook will join Akina in feasting on bugs this evening.
Excellent.
Elias looks to the left and to the right and goes, I'll take the people food.
That's that wall
this-
over there, and there's human bodies
Like I
just
said,
on the
we have
wall.
food for all types. And she looks back at Marook and Akina and says, we even have some chocolate-covered grasshoppers if you get here early enough in the morning.
Oh, crack of dawn. That's going to be a thing.
Anything that we don't have that you want, feel free to ask my workers. We'll do our best to get whatever you need.
Does the academy do any sort of animal husbandry? I could send for some creatures from back home.
Mostly, most of what we get comes from the jungle or the community gardens. I don't think we don't really need anything brought in. The city has plenty to offer. But thank you.
Sure.
But if you do need something to do, we're always looking for extra help. To go out and harvest the jungle fruit or tend to the gardens. If you're good at repairing things, there are plenty of kitchen implements that need to be repaired. Just come by and I can give you something to do. I can even pay you a little bit on the side.
Excellent.
I like walking the jungles.
And with that, there is a crash from back in the kitchen, and she swears in a foreign language. I have to go take care of that. If you need anything else, like I said, talk to any of my workers. Good luck. She
Of course. Nice to meet
goes
you.
to investigate this crash.
Could we
It
help?
come from the direction of the kitchen.
Oh no, I can tell an exit queue when I see one. Let's go meet up with Essie.
As he says, I'm sure they have it under control. Besides, we need to get you to the powder pile before it closes for the day, to get you set up with your supplies for the month.
One of our school supplies is going to be like a stone tablet that's magic, and it stores all of our information. We can take notes on it, and it's connected to a central repository of knowledge.
Wonder what that would be like.
Not quite. But she takes you across campus to the powder pile up here. You do. She points in the direction of some of the libraries on campus as you walk across to the powder pile, but she doesn't take you there now. A kobold pops up from behind the counter. Do I have art?
So real
of
quick,
this kobold?
you
I
said
do not.
libraries.
Yes, multiple.
Revi kind of starts angling towards every library that Essie points out, and would need to be tugged back.
Yeah, Elias holds out his warhammer and kind of like gets you around the waist and tries to usher you like it's a cane, just trying to keep you close by. So
Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to explore the libraries, I promise.
Okay. And then the next library happens and the same thing happens.
The supply store is packed with magical items and powders and anything you could want to pursue the study of magic. A kobold comes out from behind the counter. Hello, you must be new students. I'm Zokan.
Hello.
I have your first month's supplies for you. He gives you each a small lump of clay.
Yes.
Now, you need to roll that into a bead and return it to me for my collection. When you do, I will give you a bead to wear with your other beads that will mark you, that will entitle you to use the supply shop.
Akina starts rolling.
You could bring it back tomorrow as well. Also, he gives you 40 gold
Whoa.
and some basic supplies, such as parchment, quills, and ink. So long as your students in good standing, you get basic school supplies and 4 gold pieces at the start of every month. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was reading off of out of the book, and it is unclear. Your initial stipend, 4 GP a month. No, you get the 40 now.
Okay.
And then 4 GP at the start of each month. Yes.
40
And
for each of us?
Yes. 40 for
Okay.
each of you.
Wow.
And is the full plate in the bag, or are they going to put that directly in our room? Or is that no? No, we don't get the full
He
plate.
doesn't
Okay.
have full plate here. You'll have to
Okay.
go into the city to find
Okay. All right.
plate armor. Oh, though I'm lying to you again. He does have many common items. All adventuring gear, alchemical items, held items, and worn items up to 3rd level. Oils, potions, scrolls, and wands up to 5th level. And staffs up to 6th level. So yes, you can buy your plate armor here.
Wow.
So yes, he hands each of you a small package with quills and ink and your initial stipend. It says, and you should come back at the start of each month for any other supplies you might need, as well as your 4 gold stipend at the beginning of each month.
We have to turn in the bead to be able to purchase things here, right? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Akina desperately starts rolling that bead. She doesn't stop.
Well, you can make purchases today.
Okay, well, she's already pretty far in.
Besides, Akina, wouldn't you want to spend time and make it a more perfect product? You wouldn't want to turn in something hasty on your first
are
day.
right. I saw those weaving tools over there, and I got a little homesick. I had to leave mine behind, and I very much wanted to get some.
Low and steady wins the race, my friend.
Marook has been just standing there kind of at the back, using Mage Hand, levitating the bit of clay and kind of rolling it with with Mage Hand itself.
Yeah.
Going off.
Revi has Mage Hand now.
Oh no, what did I get?
A small finder's fee for any items you find that might be of interest to the Magambia. So should you find anything like that in your studies, feel free to bring them to me and I will buy them from you. This lets you sell your treasure.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
And I open 2 hours before lunch and close at sunset.
Okay.
But if we can purchase things, she is buying those artisan's tools.
Yeah, go for it. You may absolutely buy those artisan's tools. And when you bring back your beads, he will give you another one. And Essie says that's all she really has to show you around campus today. If you need help finding anything, she says to let her know, and she tells you to meet her out front of the Spire dormitory tomorrow morning for your first perquisite task.
All right.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's Rix will turn to everybody and say, well, we could get food. We should probably get food together, yes, because we are friends now, or classmates.
We're a cohort.
We're a cohort, yeah.
And we're together for, I think, like ever now. So we're sort of family.
That's a good way to think of it, Akina. Yes, we are basically family. So while, family doesn't always have to spend time together, boundaries are important. We could get dinner together, yes?
Dinner sounds amazing.
I like that very much.
Yeah, we can have a mixture of bugs and human food.
Doesn't sound
Would
bad.
be acceptable.
I'm not saying we all need to go around and describe exactly what we're eating. Tom would rather get to tomorrow, but I think it merits mentioning that we eat dinner.
We eat
I
dinner.
agree. Yep, we
And
eat.
like I
It's
said,
delicious.
the dining hall is used to accommodating all kinds. Think of it like dining hall at your favorite college campus. They've probably got different stations for different types of food.
Do they have a waffle station?
I was gonna say an omelet bar. Good
They do
question.
have an omelet bar, but it's not open right now. It's dinner time.
It's never open.
I go to the place that
Never
does
open.
the barbecued insects on little skewers that are just slowly rotating.
Yes, the barbecue station, has insects and steaks and but mostly vegetables from the garden. Honestly, meat is there is meat available, but it appears that a lot of people here are vegetarian.
Akina consumes no vegetables.
Yes, Elias is also staunchly not vegetarian. He needs the meat for the gains, so he's got to look good in the sleeveless full plate.
Akina will look over at Elias and be like, "These are excellent sources of protein. More per pound than just about anything you can imagine."
Yeah, tempting, but
Just wait, I'll get you to try a chocolate-covered cricket someday.
Rebel will just be shoving anything that they can in their face.
Mhm.
Fun fact:
Including bugs.
chocolate-covered crickets are actually mostly just chocolate,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and the deep fried ones taste like French fries. Like exactly like it's.
I'm pretty sure I've tried crickets before. I have a buddy who goes out of his way to just try and find interesting things to eat, and he's around, and when he has them sometimes when he's around me. It's been a while though.
One of my old coworkers, her family was from a place where this was common, and so her mother would send her care packages from home.
Second and Charles has suckers with scorpions inside them.
That's crazy, dog. I would not eat that. Scorpions are dangerous. Anyway, anything else your characters would like to do before hitting the hay for the night?
How late is it? Because Revi would really like to go to at least one library.
Revi can absolutely check out the libraries.
Revi will check out the libraries.
Yeah, they let her in without nobody really gives her any trouble. She finds that there is a wealth of books in the libraries that she could just borrow, because she's a student now.
Oh my god.
Akina just walks. She just walks the paths. She's just trying to take it all in. She has grown up on stories of this place that have been passed down in her family for who knows how long, and she just wants to see everything she can.
Elias sneaks back into the shop and buys the full plate.
Sneaks.
Yeah.
Do you bring back your bead?
I do, and I was going to say I didn't want to, play it all out, but Elias is a very good crafter, and he has produced flame, so he would have put a really neat design in it and kind of kilned it up in his hand, sort of like a nice solidified, really firm. So it's actually a very nice looking bead for how quickly he got it done.
I do want to know what was Revi's reaction to the library, because we didn't get that.
Right. So upon entering the library, on the entrance to the library, Revi just kind of stops, takes a deep breath, and then takes a slow step inside and looks around with their eyes wide, the mouth just kind of hanging open. And they just kind of stare for 10-15 seconds before they rush to the nearest book just like the closest one. It's actually just like 2 feet away. Just like someone had set it on a counter before leaving, basically. And they pick it up, and they find a chair, and they sit down with the first book they see.
Marook, who joined Revi, maybe not necessarily joined, but followed to the library because he is also very interested in books and knowledge, kind of chuckles to himself as he witnesses this.
Revi doesn't notice the chuckle.
Indeed not. It's good-natured, I assure you, though. No judgment whatsoever.
Nerd. Very cute. Zokan gives Elias a tan glass bead in the shape of a bulging sack to wear with your other beads.
Very cool. He's got his kind of like on a lanyard. New students swing around their keys around on campus, and so he puts it on his lanyard.
I think eventually Akina does make it back to her room, and she does work on that bead, and I think when it's completed, it's this nice little perfect sphere, and it's got a pattern pressed into it, some sort of a fabric pattern pressed into it, and like a little web design sort of scribed into it. And I think that she has used prestidigitation because it can color an object of light, bulk, or less, and I think she has made it match her hair.
I don't think prestidigitation lasts, though, so it won't be that color forever.
It says any actual change to an object. Oh yeah. So no, there is a cleric spell. She will prepare it in the morning and she will cast it, and it will permanently change the color of the bead.
There you go.
Because that's how she does. That's how she does her textiles.
Nice.
Rix will form his bead when he gets back to his room. He will, he'll take a scale from Megara and work that into the bead. It's a very, very small scale from the tip of his tail.
Very cool. All right. In that case, the next morning, when you arrive outside the dormitory, you see Essie, who you've met, and a dwarf, looks like this, says, the green shoots blossom in the rain. A well-muscled and clean-shaven dwarven man calls out with a smile. He gives a friendly wave. It was meant to be me and Root meeting you, but I guess not. I swapped with Anchor Root, Essie replies, brushing the point aside before addressing you. Over the next 5 days, you'll be helping with each of the school's 5 branches. Habram and Anchor Root seek to join the Rain Scribes. It's the branch that explores the world and helps other travelers make their way through uncertain territories. That means Rain Scribes have to work well with both nature and people. Habram continues, we could really use your help. The Kafisi market won't deal with anybody they know is part of the Magambia. Since you're new, you should be able to get in without a problem. You'll be looking for, chickens. Did you know there's such thing as endangered chickens? Of course, any chicken that comes too close to me is endangered. A farmer outside of Natambu, Bisola, said her family used to keep Ojafiri chickens. Said they could hatch anything, even a dragon egg. I don't know about that. But she wants to raise Ojafiris again, so we're gonna get her some. Ojafiri eggs aren't very hardy, and the birds aren't good layers. So they mostly got put into soup, and now there's hardly any left. Well, we caught wind that someone at Kafisi has a few chicks. Go and bring some back, will you? And, Essie hands you a pouch with 20 gold pieces and says, you should hurry. The Ojafiri chicks might sell out.
Of course. Before we go, though, why won't Kafisi merchants deal with Magambians?
Oh, don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about it. But every market I've been to is teeming with people, and once you get inside the market, it's hard to find your way out. How will we know where to go for these eggs? You want us just to ask around?
You will. You'll have to ask around and see what you can find. All we know is that somebody has them. They're small with white faces, dark blue feathers, and lavender combs. The chicks should have dark blue feathers and a white underbelly.
Marook ruffles his
Hopefully-
feathers indignantly at the thought of having to just go fetch chickens on his first day of classes.
Well, you're not in classes yet. This is your perquisite. The community service
Oh, right. Okay.
to the school
I was
before classes.
too ashamed to ask what that word meant, so I'm glad we backed our way into a definition.
It's community service for the school and the community before your classes formally begin. This is your tuition, more or less.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, they just handed us 40 gold. It's a pretty good deal.
And I'm trying to get the timeline out. We wake up and we met with them immediately, or did we have some time before this?
Breakfast before. Essie told you to meet her in the morning.
Okay. So I would have.
But yeah, if you wanted to get
Turned
up
in
and
that
get breakfast.
Yeah. I was going to try and do the crack of dawn thing to get the chocolate covered insects. And
yes.
then,
they go quickly.
yeah, I know. I wanted to be there at dawn, see if I could get some for myself and Marook, and then turn in that bead over at the powder pile.
Well,
Yeah.
the powder pile's not open until just before lunch, so it's not open
Okay.
yet.
Yes, the powder
Okay.
pile won't be open until just before lunch. So,
Otherwise,
wanna-
Marook ain't done the same, yes.
but you could absolutely have gone and got some of those chocolate covered crickets and brought them back.
Sure.
I smell them on your breath.
Have one. They're delightful.
No thanks, I'm driving. But
Oh, I'll take one. Rick's,
so-
Rick's will actually flutter up to the back and grab one. But sorry,
Yeah,
let's.
no, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Elias writes down the description because he has to get stuff. He has to get stuff for work all the time, and he knows he's always standing in front of where he's supposed to get it, and he can't remember if it's the red one with blue feathers or the blue one with red feathers, and he wants to make sure he gets the right one. So he'll write down the description that he can reference later, in case it comes up. So
You are a wise man, Elias.
Add one quick thing to Akina's experience getting the crickets this morning.
Sure.
As you were leaving, two small and naughty children were rushing in, and you suspect they're why you have to get there early to get any of the chocolate covered crickets.
Yeah. Like, we're going to share things equally, children.
Oh, they were rushing past you and shoving each other. Like, no, I'm gonna get there. No, they were in a hurry and paid you no mind.
I feel
You were
like
on
this...
your way out. They were on their way out.
Okay. I was gonna say, if I was like getting ready to get them, I feel like this would take her back to the village, and she would probably bust out like big sister command voice and be like, "No, you're gonna listen."
You already got yours.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, someone else can deal with it now.
You have things to do today. They're not your problem just yet.
Yeah, we got chickens to fetch.
Chicken.
You do. And coming back to the chickens, Essie and Habram ask you to find at least 4, which hopefully will ensure there's at least 1 male and 1 female chicken. But the more, the better.
Oh yes.
Excellent. Do
All
we
right.
have directions?
Kafisi is a wandering bazaar, but it should be easy enough to find.
Well,
All right.
first things first, everybody. We should probably hide our Magambian necklaces, beads, so that we
Oh,
do
good
not
call.
stick out like sore thumbs in this bazaar.
would look bizarre.
Akina reaches into her satchel and pulls out like a colorful like scarf or something and just ties it around her neck to cover up the necklace.
All right. And you head into the town booth?
Mm-hmm.
We do
All
indeed.
right. Well, Your first task is to figure out where this market is.
Well, obviously,
how do you go about this?
gonna make a diplomacy check to try to gather some information. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
society check to know what's going on. And
That's what I was
this,
thinking.
yeah.
Try assess where the market would be located.
Yeah, you can give it a thought while Rex is asking around.
All right. I'll let them make their checks and then make my diplomacy.
Makes sense.
With those society checks, Elias and Revy, you have a couple of ideas of sort of where a market might be, but you don't really know Natambu well enough off the top of your head. You're not from here. Rix, however, pretty promptly gets pointed in the right direction. While you guys are looking for landmarks, you're like looking for large open spaces that could house a bazaar. And as you're looking, someone points Rix in the direction of the market. But it does.
How bizarre.
It does take you 2 hours to find the bazaar.
Elias, it was close to where you thought it would be.
Yes, well, the thing is where I come from, the market doesn't move quite so swiftly or frequently. So I'm still getting my sea legs under me here.
Of course.
And y'all do know Natembo a little bit better now than you did
Nice.
when you set out.
Marook,
You are.
first at the mention of sea legs, but then realizes it's just a metaphor.
Akina's just lost still.
When you mention that you are looking, when you mention that you're looking for these Ojafiri chickens, you're directed to a merchant called McKenna. And you manage to find her and find the market and find your way to McKenna with Rix's masterful asking for directions with, just a very charming demeanor as he does. The market is mostly wooden tables that serve as stalls, sheltered under a cluster of large, colorful umbrellas. The whole place is bustling. Think like the bazaars you see in fantasy movies all the time. Brightly colored umbrellas, people hawking their wares. It's loud. There's lots of people moving around. Even though it is still pouring down rain.
Fish, we catch them, you eat them.
Exactly. McKenna is a stern-faced woman with her head shaved bald and huge hoop earrings through her ears. She looks at you as you walk up. What could I get you?
Well, pleasure to meet you on this fine, if rainy day. We are in the search for a certain breed of chicken. Elias, what was the name of the chicken breed again?
Let me check my notes. It was this. And he says what he's supposed to say.
Ojo theory.
Yes.
Ojo theory?
Yes.
Thank you for typing it out.
And he says, but he's trying to he's going into market mode because this is kind of what he did where he came from, and he's like, but they weren't too adamant about that particular egg. We'll take really any egg. They wanted that one, but they weren't super specific. So he kind of does the soft sell that we really need it. But yeah, that's what he says.
I do have some Ojafiri chicks. Yeah. I had, how many did I have this morning? Well, there's only 6 left now. If you want them, it'll be 4 gold pieces a pop.
Ah,
Easy. We only need 4.
well,
I'll pitch in some extra just to
but-
ensure.
Well, I mean, like Elias is like rubbing his temples. He's like, "That's not how we do it in the market." So can I do some sort of recall knowledge to see if they're giving us a fair price or if they see a bunch of potential marks?
Yeah, do you have like mercantile lore or?
No, I have society and I have engineering lore. Or insect lore.
A society would work.
could we also could I roll a perception similarly? Because Rix is with Elias here and thinks that we don't want to like give away the
Like
chase
sense
so
motive.
quickly.
Like
Yeah.
sense motive perception. I'd rather do
Yeah.
that as well.
Oh, I got a very good sense motive. I should really roll that
Decent
secretly, I
society.
guess.
Rix, with your sense motive, you sense that this woman's a hard bargainer. She could be bargained with, but it's going to be tough. Elias, with a 21, yes, you know how this market thing works. Marook, you've been to markets, but you don't know. They're all different.
It's mostly just for mangoes and such.
You're very distracted by the
Yeah.
earrings.
You're very distracted.
Very distracted by the
Yes.
shiny earrings.
Revy's
So
distracted by everything else.
Elias will look at Rex, who's a much smoother talker, and I say, "I'm sure we can get these somewhere else, but if she'll give them all to us for 20, I say we take it. We'll take all 6 for 20, but
Yes, my friend here is right. We could even if we don't find these somewhere else, perhaps they would be our friend would be satisfied with a different breed of chicken egg. So what do you
Yeah.
say? Why not?
One of you give me a deception.
Oh, I've got you. That is a 22, my friend.
Is this something that's eatable?
No, not in this case. But Rix has it well in hand. All right, I'll give you all 6 for 20.
A fine trade. A deal then. And Rix will stick out his tiny little hand.
And she'll shake your hand, and she will give you 6 of these chickens. These
Do they-
chickens.
Do they
Right
match?
here.
Do they match the description?
They do, yes. They
So
do
good.
match the Ocean Fairy chickens.
those are very cute."
They're super cute. They are adorable
I
chickens.
was super hoping it was going to be the fluff ball chickens, but they are super cute.
They're way cute. Give me a
Nature.
nature or a medicine. Actually, is anybody trained in nature?
Right
Yeah.
here.
I
Nature.
am.
Everybody who's trained in nature knows that baby chicks should be kept warm, and they will
Oh.
get sick.
Hey,
They're
we should keep these chicks warm, or else they'll get sick.
Can I get a red then?
So do we have? Are they in a box?
They are not in a box. No, she just sort of
Are
says,
they?
"Here, they're yours."
Are
and
they with a
handed you bunch of
fox?
baby chickens?
What are the chances they have the minion trait once we have them in our possession?
No, they don't have the minion trait.
All right, our companion will not work then.
Okay. Elias, go get a box and a blanket, and Revy, pick up a stone of no more than light bulk off the ground.
I
I need a
also
young
have-
priest and an old priest. No, I will get you your box.
also have a
Revy.
slightly weirder solution, but
What's your weirder solution? Does Rick's
Mega-
propose?
Megara, Rix will, gesture to Megara, who has been following us. And Megara is naturally very warm. His spines, you might notice, emitted some flames during the epic battle with the spell skeins, and perhaps Megara could carry whatever apparatus this is that we construct in order to lend his warmth to them.
Yes. Surely there is no safer place for a chicken than wrapped up by a gigantic cobra snake.
Indeed.
Gigantic
Yeah.
manifestation of life energy itself in the shape of a cobra.
Well, as long as I don't have to get a box, I'm all for it.
I think we still need the box because the chickens will run away if we stick them on the back of a snake.
Okay, I get the box.
Or
So the group of you pretty easily fashion a sling for Bagheera to keep these chickens close to their very warm snake chest for the trip back to the Magambia.
Now, Megara, that is our money. Please do not eat it. I don't know how many times I have to remind you. I don't actually eat unless I feel like it. I don't feel like it right now.
yes, one of the chicks cheeps and it shatters stone, and that one is named Muad'Dib.
What?
It's riding Bagheera like as though it's Shai Hulud from Dune.
Oh, Dune. Yeah. Pronunciations are different in my head, but that's how it always goes.
Of Muad'Dib.
You do manage to get all 6 chicks back to Essie and Hybrim. We're incredibly pleased. You did very well. Thank you. Even better than we had hoped.
You're very welcome.
You're free for the rest of the day. Meet me back here tomorrow. And I'll give you the your second assignment.
Excellent. And now, since it's probably close to lunchtime, Akina will go to give the bead to the gentle person at the powder pile.
I mean, it's probably still a couple hours before dinner. So it took you 2 to find it, and then probably another hour to negotiate for Jake's.
Sure.
And travel time to
An
and from
hour
the state.
back, yeah. And it's probably been 5 hours since this morning.
Plenty of
Okay.
time. Marook will also bring his bead, which he has fashioned into the shape of a skull.
Oh, that is so awesome.
And you both get the glass bead in the shape of a bulging sack put on your
And just like last time, the bead that comes off goes to Marook.
Acquiring quite the collection.
I will
shiny
also
beads.
hand my bead in for anybody curious. I suppose it is, in fact, in the shape of Megara. Like, he's incorporated Megara's scale into the clay, and the clay sort of just wraps the scale.
Meanwhile, Revi had spent most of the night in the library and had remembered the clay in their pocket pretty late. So they just kind of like, mush, and that's their bead. So it's just like a pile of mush with a hole in it.
Well, Zocan takes it anyway. Not everybody is as crafty as these folks are. Your beat is probably much more like what he actually gets usually. He accepts it graciously and also gives Revi a glass bead. On that note, I think now is a good time to take a quick break before we get into our next day.
Indeed.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Sure.
So meet me back here at 1/4 to the hour, 45 minutes past whatever hour you're at, 15 minutes to the next one. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed your break. We took a couple of extra minutes. Totally not because we were talking about all the words that our team has added to the allowed list over the last couple of years. No, not at all. When we left off, our academics, they're not quite heroes yet. They're just students. Heroes in training.
We don't want to be heroes. We want to be students.
Yes.
We're not even students yet.
No, technically you start classes like on Monday, right? This is your
Our students to be.
Yeah. Our candidates, as it were, had finished their first assignment for the Rain Scribes, and SE told the group to come back the next morning for the Tempest Sun Mage assignment. They spent their evening mostly getting their beads together for the kobold who runs the powder pile and doing some shopping with their newfound wealth. You guys are so lucky that these aren't student loans, right? If this was the real world, this would be your own money and you'd have to pay it back.
Yeah, and it would only take about 10 years. And
luckily for you, this is like grant money. You don't have to pay it back. It's yours.
That's good. That's good.
You've gotten in. It's scholarship money.
Yes.
The next morning, Essie waits for you.
Bucks.
Sorry, what?
I said at least it wasn't Magumbe bucks, you know. Oh, here you go. Here's some money. It's only good here, though.
Right? Like, I think every university does that too. Like.
Oh yeah.
Like, God, yeah. We had wolf bucks. To, you know, you could spend them on like printing and Boston's. You could spend them at Boston's and
I don't
the subway.
think Ball State did that.
No?
I don't think so.
Oh, lucky.
But so we wake up to go to the Tempest Suns Mage thing.
You do.
Instead of talking about awful real life stuff, let's talk about cool fantasy stuff.
This college is much better than real life college.
When you wake up and go in the hall, up in like the corners, there's giant spider webs.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Prince knows this.
I'm making a note. And someone's going to be in trouble and it's not you.
Oh.
And Marook gets the ladder out, setting it up, climbing up the ladder into the webs to pull Lucius back out of it. Confounded bird. Watch where you're flying these days.
It's just gonna say some pig tomorrow.
The Essie is out front once again. Morning-o! Essie bobs her umbrella in greeting. It's only me today. I'm the only one of us who plans to join the Tempest Sun Mages. That's the branch that defends Natambu and the people around the city from outside threats, big and small. Today, you're going to help us with a very small threat. Some gremlins have gotten into one of the school's storage rooms. I want you to get them out without harming them. I mean it, Essie adds with emphasis. They're sour little pests, but they haven't done anything except throw some jars and be obnoxious. The Magambia doesn't approve of killing anyone just because of who they are. A student was even expelled because of it, back before I came here.
Akina looks meaningfully at Rix and Magira.
I think we all look at Rix and Megara.
Rix is looking at Megara. Megara is looking back at Rix, and the two of them are telepathically communicating right now.
And Marook just happy that no one's looking at him.
Yeah, exactly.
You and me. I don't think anyone will mind if you gave one or two a whack to the head, but get them out of the storage room and release them off the grounds. Really, it's probably best to release them outside of Natambu entirely.
All right. Outside of Natambu entirely. We can do that.
You don't mind. They're, like I said, they're a nuisance.
And where exactly did you say these were? They're in a storage room?
Yes. They are in the storage storage barns on campus. I wonder if I have it marked. I do. Da-da-da. Up here.
Oh.
And
Okay.
Essie will point you in that direction. It's on the other side of campus, past the Tree Stump Library to the north. But
So,
if you
Revy,
get to the powder
you'll
pile,
know
you've
where it
gone
is.
too far.
Okay, yeah.
Revy will be able to guide us then.
And
They have
Revy-
gone to
Sure.
all of the
I'll
libraries.
just go ahead and mark where the libraries are for you guys here.
Good,
And-
perfect.
And Revy, we're not making any pit stops on the way, okay?
Not
Where
this
is
You
it?
time.
have this time.
Oh, I think I showed you the Elephant Museum too.
You did.
You can have all three.
Sweet. Oh,
Um,
fancy knowledge.
Is it like an elephant graveyard, but museums?
I'm not sure. I didn't search the book for that one yet. I searched for the Tree Stump Library because I wanted to know why there were two libraries. And the book didn't tell me, but I didn't look for the Elephant Museum.
See, my first thought was either a museum that was just full of elephants, or it's a giant elephant that's inside a museum.
I mean, or it's just a reference to the fact that elephants never forget, right?
That
Oh,
is true.
oh, clever.
Elephant Museum. It never forgets. Anyway, they are in that storage barn on the other side of campus.
Okay.
Go there.
Yes. Elias will get out his Warhammer and shield as he's very excited to dust these old boys off. So he's excited.
Yeah, so,
Just want to head over
So-
there.
yeah,
Should we get like
no.
a net or something to catch them?
that's not a bad idea. Maybe some ropes to tie them up with. Also, perhaps we should do a little bit of research, some recall knowledge checks, if you will.
Start with
on-
that. A
Gremlin.
nature check, or if you have gremlin lore or something like that, give me that to see what you know about gremlins.
Flynn.
Hey, I'm going to use a hero point.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
gremlin.
You got a 14.
Yeah, I was just thinking of this, doing the same because I have too many of these stinking things. So here, have this
Of
Ojafiri
course,
chick.
that makes it worse. So
Hmm.
Bummer.
Oh, was that critical nature check from Revy from earlier?
yeah,
That's from earlier. I don't remember why.
the chickens. It was something about the chickens.
Okay.
Then
yeah,
I
yeah.
will. Then I will
Marook
also burn.
and
Never mind.
Marook and Revy and Rix all recall that these sound like, when you ask Essie, Essie says she's not really sure what type of gremlins these are, but she thinks they're pugwampies, and you guys know that name. Pugwampy gremlins are fey creatures that cause misfortune in nearby creatures. And they have an obsessive love of gnolls.
Who doesn't?
Oh,
Obsessive love of Knowles. Oh. Mm,
Could we recruit one of our dorm mates to help us?
Anchor.
Anchor
Uh,
root?
Anchor root.
There's no reason you couldn't ask for help.
Let's go see if we can make friends with Anchor. She was pretty reticent to talk to us. However, maybe we could coax her out. Essie, do you think we can get Anchor Root to go with us to a storage barn? Us, 5 strangers she's never talked to before?
You might be able to. Just she's very shy
Yes, got that.
and timid. So be gentle.
Maybe if the two shorter ones go,
Ah,
we're less
excellent
scary.
idea. Yes.
Leave
Megara,
Megara.
You wait
I will-
outside, Megara.
I will wait here sharpening my Warhammer.
Ah,
does that look
the old
like?
Monster Hunter rules.
Good choice.
It's more.
Um,
It's more a reference to Glass Cannon, I think.
There.
Essie will point you to Anchor Root's room. Should you wish to ask her for help.
Yes. Sounds like simply Revy and Rix. The old R&R.
Tell me what you do.
Oh, Rix will, of course, knock 3 times on the door and say...
Revy will knock 1 additional time.
Rix looks at Revy.
The door will crack open, and you'll see Anchor Root peek out. Hello?
Hi. My name is Rix, and this is Revy. We are 2 of your dorm mates, and you are Anchor Root, yes?
Yeah?
Wonderful. Yes, so it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I won't beat around the bush, Anchor Root. We have a problem that we have been asked to deal with. It happens to involve pugwumpies.
Puppies? Those are gremlins!
Yes, however, they apparently have, well, Revy, go on, don't let me do all the talking.
Yeah, they have fondness for gnolls, and we were thinking maybe, well, you could be a distraction.
Or the key.
I mean, yeah.
You see, the Mogambia is all about working together and, using all the assets available to you to resolve things peacefully. You might be able to help us not have to lift a finger. And then the Pugwumpies don't get hurt.
Give me a diplomacy check there, Rix.
All right. It's an 18.
All right. I guess. Yeah, that's a reasonable request. I could come along.
Ah, Rix claps his hands together. Wonderful. This is excellent. And it'll be a chance for bonding. And don't worry, we'll keep you safe. They won't hurt you. I have a very, very large snake who is very excitable. I understand that sounded dirty, but I promise there's an actual snake outside.
Oh my god.
No one thought that until you said it.
Your companion
Just
choice.
met her. In the meantime, Marook will head to the shop, assuming it is open, to purchase a net or 2.
Sure. Yeah, you can absolutely get some nets from the shop. You do, but
Sorry, go ahead.
you could probably just Pied Piper them with Anchor Root's help. They have an obsessive love of gnolls.
I'm so
Obsessive.
excited.
Noted. Marook wants to make sure all bases are covered, though, and will inquire with the shopkeeper. Is there some sort of rental program so I don't have to give you a full gold piece per net?
What do you need them for?
We will be capturing some small creatures and removing them from a storeroom. Infestation control, if you will. It's part of our perquisites here on campus.
Yeah, if it's for an assignment, go right ahead.
Wonderful, wonderful. And he'll give him the gold, like as a, insurance or whatever you call that, and then get the gold back when he returns the nets.
Absolutely. Just bring them back when you're done.
Thank you most kindly, sir. Good day. And he'll leave with a armful of nets for the group.
I can't believe that worked. This place is so nice.
You're at school now.
Yeah.
Let's go to fantasy college, y'all.
It's so warm and embracing and just, yeah. Nothing could ever go wrong here, obviously.
Nothing at all.
Plus, we get to learn magic. I mean,
Also that.
Here is Anchor Root, who is, in the back. Who is going in first?
Well, I think we should just push Anchor Root in and then close the door and see what happens.
No.
All right,
Revy
we'll put
kinda
that
likes
as
that idea.
a plan B. That's our backup.
All right.
Elias doesn't mind going in first, but he wants to kind of go in with Anchor Root so that if Anchor Root's up for it, I'll walk in with Anchor Root.
Before you go, here, my friend, take this, and he'll hand Elias one of the nets, and I will post the rules for nets here.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I'll take one.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Rix will keep Megara sort of out of sight behind the door, so they don't sort of sense any trouble.
What? No,
brewing.
why did I do that? Foolish fool.
All right. Let me open this this door for you, and you can head inside. There's this is a storage room, one of 6 in the large storage barn. There is a broom handle stuck through the door of this room, which you will have to, remove to go in. I presume you do. And it's semicircular in shape with a 10-foot high ceiling. There are 2 sets of shelves, one 3 feet off the ground and one 7 feet off the ground. There are no windows, but a trio of sun rods has spilled out of a gnawed barrel, illuminating the chamber with light. That's these here.
Yeah.
Several broken jars litter the floor. As you enter, you'll notice there are some little down arrows on your characters. Those little down arrows mean you are suffering from misfortune effect. Notice Revy doesn't have one. Revy saved.
Gotcha.
Yes. And as Elias and Marook step into the room, a couple of jars fly from that top shelf and slam to the wall behind your heads. It giggles. Giggles fill the room.
Wasn't Anchor Root going in after Elias?
Yeah, Anchor Root should be near me.
You guys can see these little guys trying to hide behind pots and things on the top shelf.
Why would we kill them? They're so cute.
It's got a cute little tongue sticking out the side of its mouth.
It's like a puppy.
Let's adopt them.
As Anchor Root steps in, they stop throwing pots and look expectantly at her. She looks at you. What's your plan?
Anchor Root, get them down here, and we will either usher them out safely or put them in our nets, but you must get them within reach. So if you can invite them down, we should be able to take it from there.
Hey, she looks up at the gremlins and says, Indol, could you come down, please? And I think these little guys are on the GM layer. Yep, they are. And let me just grab all of them, put them on the layer where you can see them. We'll start climbing down from the shelf to
Their token art does not match their handout art.
No, they have the gremlin tokens from the compendium on their tokens. Yes,
that's fine. They're totally fine.
We got different art.
Do we get the vibe that if we asked Anchor Root to walk them somewhere, that they would walk without even being in a net? Or do we think that, I guess, how obsessed with Anchor Root or Knowles in general do they seem to be?
They seem like they're gonna defer to her completely. They have come down off the shelf and they're approaching.
Rix will reach and sort of touch Anchor Root's hand and use his Draxi touch telepathy to speak into her mind. Now, perhaps just tell them to follow you and to not cause any trouble?
Oh, okay. She turns to the Pugwampies and says, Indol, follow me. And okay, where are we going?
Oh, you can follow me.
Outside of the city,
We'll just have a conga line. It'll be great. We're going on a walk. And yeah, Rix will begin leading this motley crew outside Natambu limits.
Yeah, the Pugwampies follow Anchor Root, just like a Pied Piper.
Rix will
they
even
share a bit amongst themselves, but other than that, they don't really cause any trouble.
Rix will even start whistling a little bit as they start walking.
Do they wait? Are they talking? What are they speaking in? Sylvan?
No.
No. Oh, I don't know. Darn it.
I don't know that either. Huh.
Yeah. Pity.
I think Revi made her nature check. They also speak Undercommon,
Oh, I do speak Undercommon.
generally, if you wanted to try to talk to them.
Yeah. Revi will sidle up to the last one in the conga line and strike up a conversation about Pugwumpy. Shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? Living habits. They have their little notebook out and a pen ready to scribble down whatever the little gremlin tells them
But
about living
we
as a
enjoy
Pugwumpy.
pranks involving spikes, excrement, pits full of spiders, and stuff like that. The more pranks, the better.
Do you ever combine pits of spikes and spiders?
We do sometimes. Although spiders don't seem to work as well here.
Where do they work better? Oh, yeah.
Places where people are more afraid of them. Some people are very afraid of spiders. Spikes, they tend not to come back though. Spiders you can use over and over.
Good to know. I appreciate your information.
Of course. My favorite trap though, is the pit full of spikes that is covered with leaves.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And then they fall in, and then you can throw poo at them.
Revi will join in with talks about other classic traps that kobolds often set. They're not particularly skilled in trap making themselves, but their family is.
Very good.
Especially
Pugwumpy is very happy to learn about more ways to set traps for unsuspecting.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, we reminisce about throwing poo at adventurers. I was like, what?
No, not that.
Rick's at the front of the line, meanwhile, is trying to get an actual conga line started, sort of like testing the bounds of where this will go, of what seeing what he can talk Anchor Root into doing, and also through Anchor Root the Pugwumpies.
Really good at dancing.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to be very good at dancing for a conga line. That's why everybody gets drunk and does it at weddings. You just sort of, put your hands. Well, I'm very short, so and they're very short. Well, we can all just do the thing where we roll our hands and then kick our feet out, and then that's.
She's sort of half-heartedly like.
Akina gets in on that. She likes dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want to do this thing.
A loud booming voice at the back with Marook says, "And these are the fools you wish to associate yourself with?" Oh, come now, Lucius. Let them have their fun. But more importantly, are sunrods reusable or are they single-use items?
Let me see if there might be a link here.
I'm looking at the item right now on Nethys, and it doesn't say it's
way back in the day. Originally, I think
it used to be reusable.
Did they? I thought it was.
Does it have the consumable trait? Is that a trait?
It does. You're right. It does. Okay, there it is.
It used to be like an hour of light way back in the day in Pathfinder 1.
Yeah.
They
I've
are
always
indeed
thought of
consumable, yes. It's 20-foot radius, dim light in the next 20 feet for 6 hours.
Well, then Marook will pick them up and use them as glow sticks.
That's what I was. Now it's a rave. I mean, we don't have to do the. I've always thought of them as glow sticks. So yeah.
Yep. 100%.
All right, well, you make it to the edge of town with the Pugwumpies still following you.
And now we kill them. Is that right?
No, not at all. We let them go.
I'm sorry. I'm learning. I'm new. I'm not even a student here yet.
I don't think they have object permanence. We get them into the woods, and then we just throw a blanket over Angkor Root, and then we guide her away.
Yes. All right.
That'll work.
We should let Anchor Root come back, though, right? All right.
Yes.
She could also
gone too.
She could also just tell them to now wait here, and I'll come back.
But that's me.
no,
That's a
we-
lie.
we just tell them to leave?
And here you shall
Yeah.
build me a monument.
You could probably tell them to
I
leave,
don't-
or do what Marook said. That also sounds kind of funny.
Really need a monument?
Yeah, and that's probably not your style, is
I
it?
mean, you are pretty great, but
Does anyone really need a monument? Just get one anyway.
I suppose you're right about that.
Better to have and not need than need and not have, as I always say. So go for it.
just follow your heart.
Go away and never come back. And they go, okay, yes, ma'am. And they leave.
I love that.
Go away.
Far away and never return.
Go away
Exactly.
and never come back.
Before they go away and never come back, was there anything else that maybe Revi wanted to ask the one that she's been talking to?
Well, they'll ask about their diet. Let's see. What would be a good question to ask now that I'm just talking with a little gremlin? Where do they live? Like, where do they come from?
There's a clever gremlin. His name is Kirsten. And he works for a scary ghost. And he brought us to the barn to, give people trouble.
Ooh, scary ghost?
Yeah, I've never met the scary ghost.
Do you know where the
I hear
scary
he's very
ghost
scary.
is?
No, I know Kirsten listens to the scary ghost.
Do we
I
know
they're
this,
up to
Christian?
something, and it won't be good for stuck-up wizards.
Oh, the story in last episode. The story at the beginning of last episode, everybody. Where there was like the one small, troublemaker that like snuck into the Magambia. And like, sorry, that's meta knowledge, but still, connection.
Yeah, little evil spirit, yes.
It's been a week,
Well-
Tom. I don't remember that story.
It was the
Right.
opening. Yeah, it was the open. Interesting.
All right. Well, once they have scattered or scampered off, Revi will tell them what they heard in Undercommon, because I don't know if you guys speak Undercommon.
Nope.
I think it's just you.
Negative.
So,
Yep.
It's usually how
pass
it
it
is.
along to your friends, yes.
Yeah.
You guys have a little bit of a walk back to campus, so.
You tell us this thing.
Yeah, I tell you that thing.
Ah.
It's hidden in with all the discussion about their dietary needs, a bit of trap making lore. Yeah.
Mhm.
You see, when you said
But
you were
then
talking
it-
about their diet, I thought they were trying to lose weight. They're like, I've successfully lost a half an ounce. And they're so small that's significant.
I mean, one of them was on a diet, to be fair.
Well, when you say that, I mean, Elias is tuned out for a lot of it because he doesn't, But when you say that, it sounds like someone put them in there to sabotage the campus. I mean, that gets his attention, or if someone has it out for the campus. I mean, his self-preservation instincts kind of kick in, and he makes a mental note of that name and the ghost situation, and will be on the lookout for things similar to that in the future.
Yes, this is a troubling thing. Perhaps we should bring this to Teacher Ott. Tell him that there might be a ghost around that presumably transported these gremlins into the school grounds.
I haven't heard anything about a scary ghost.
Maybe someone else has heard something.
Yes, we should ask around.
Maybe. But you do have another assignment tomorrow.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, we have time, right?
I mean, I suppose.
We can mention it to Essie at the least, and then we can act on this information later.
Sure, it was not. Sure, it was nothing. They're just gremlins.
It's true.
Hey, I mean, they're not just gremlins. They're their own people, too.
Oh. They wouldn't really have much to gain by lying, would they?
Unless their goal was just to cause mischief.
I mean,
And
that
I-
is their primary goal.
Well, in times like this, I like to remember that it is simpler to just mention it to somebody else and sort of spread the knowledge of such things, and either help it get sorted out, or by the time I get back to it, it is sorted out. One of those two options.
That's probably wise. Well, we made it back. I will see a lot of you tomorrow for your Cascade Bearer assignment.
And Anchorroot, you don't have to be scared of us. We're friends now, and even if we weren't friends, it's safe here, and you can. I just hope that you can feel more comfortable, and if there's anything that we can do or I can do to make you feel more comfortable or safe, just know that I consider us friends now.
Thank you. If you need help studying for any of your rain scribe classes, let me know.
It is much appreciated. Thank you for your help today, Anchorroot.
Do you like hats? Shawls?
Hats don't usually fit around my ears.
But what if there was a hat made to accommodate your ears?
I suppose that would be nice, yeah. Anyway, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
And she will retreat to her room.
Awesome. I'm so glad we drew out the shy student. That was wonderful.
You have indeed.
Man, episode 2 and we got her.
You did.
Yeah.
And we have the rest of the day to ourselves, basically? Is that it?
Yeah, more or less. Once again, you've managed to sort of wrap up your assignment for dinner time. So yeah, if there's anything you want to investigate or explore.
Library.
Rix will join Revy at the library.
I don't need that.
You find a great wealth of knowledge at the library.
Akina takes down the large spider webs and gets out the knitting needles.
Upon coming back to where the spider webs were left this morning, you find those two small Anati children taking them down and arguing about who put them there.
Why are you taking down those webs?
Mom told us to.
Why?
Well, we're not supposed to put up webs outside of the room.
But you didn't do it.
No, I didn't. Well, you must have. Somebody put them up.
Neither of you did it. Those are, I need my webs.
They're your webs?
Yes.
Mom! They run off in the direction of Tenzinwei's room.
Give me those webs back, chasing after them.
They throw open the door. And inside you see a middle-aged woman, maybe working on her knitting. I don't know why her handout is not linked like everybody else's. So rude. Here it is. Zanvi, I've asked you not to run 100. Oh, hello.
Hello. I just found your children taking down my webs.
Oh, they're your webs. I'm sorry, children. I just assumed it was you.
No, they're.
We told you it was us.
They're very full of energy, but I don't think that I don't think they were putting webs up that high.
Well, you'd be surprised how high they can climb.
My cousins did manage to put them in surprising places when they were younger.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have another Anati here at the Magambia.
I didn't know I was going to meet another one. I assumed I was going to be alone.
Well, we are few and far between most places. But the Magambia does possess an enlightened view on Anatis.
There's there's stories. I grew up on stories of the school. It's nice to see that they weren't exaggerations.
No, not at all. I too grew up on stories of the Magambia. I hope to pass my education down to these two, if they ever can stay out of trouble long enough.
I think she just kind of smiles at that and looks at them, just kind of reminiscing, because she's had a horde of cousins.
Nice. Would you like some chilled tea?
That sounds absolutely lovely. I was just getting ready to take up some knitting.
Well, you're welcome to join me. Her room, I don't know if you've seen the inside. I don't think I've removed the door.
No.
I go to dynamic lighting. Is here. Is full of webs.
Oh, that is amazing, and I love it.
Nice.
Let me pull her and the kids to the token layer too. Nope, I'm on the token layer. Here we go.
There's like a little butterfly toy and it looks like almost an X-Wing or like a Babylon 5 Star Fury.
The kids retreat to one of their webs, and Tenzaway will happily chat with you late into the night.
Knitting club.
Yes, knitting and comparing stories that you heard growing up about the Magambia.
Excellent.
You have a new friend.
What I'm intending to do here is to make Anchor Root a hat.
Oh yeah, and Tenzaway could absolutely give you some pointers.
Yeah, because Akina is actually a web weaver, a naughty.
Nice.
Polychromatic, and then I took the web weaver and ancestry feat.
And you'll find that Tenzaway is a highly accomplished knitter.
Nice.
Web weaver in her own right. That's what she did before she came here. And in fact, she has a wonderfully elaborate outfit that she made entirely herself, which she will happily tell you about.
That's Akina's outfit as well. She handmade it all herself as well. I'm sure it'll also come up at some point during the night. She'll invite you to join her and Anchor Root for baking sometime. It's their other hobby. I will 100% participate in this, but I'm just warning you. I learned many things from my parents. Cooking was not one of my specialties.
Well, we can teach you. And you'll have to join me and Ignacy and Naxolo for sewing club from here on out.
100%. That sounds homey.
Anybody else doing anything interesting with their evening?
Yeah,
Rix will be sort of not quite meditating, almost like communing with Megara, where the two of them just sort of like Megara wraps Rix up and they just sort of sit on the floor and communicate telepathically through their link. And Rix and Megara are just sort of talking about the day and, well, the past 2 days, I should say. And Rick's saying, "See, Megara, you can be useful in ways other than just physically defending me from confrontations." And Megara responds, "Yes, it was interesting carrying those small chickens through the market streets. The party seemed convinced that I was going to eat them." And they just sort of, checking in after like a couple days and reflecting on their time so far.
Yeah.
Marook will spend his evening after retrieving a few books from the library, just in his room, in his study as he calls it, just poring over some things, reading stuff. Also, he if anybody walks by, they will notice that the window out his room is covered with a large black cloth, obscuring the view into the room.
Were you an emo kid?
Maybe.
Let's see. Revi will have gathered a small pile of books, all of which are on Osiriani ancient religion. Ancient
Has she discovered
Osiriani.
that you can take books back to your dorm from the library?
I mean, originally they were trying to sneak them out, but then they saw someone else walking out with books, and then they're like, "Oh."
The librarian is like, excuse me. She thinks she's in trouble.
What?
You need to check those out before you can leave with them.
What?
Yes. Oh, you don't have your bead yet. You must be new. Come here.
Yeah. And Revi will scamper over.
The librarian will give you a bead shaped like a book and walk you through how to check out books from the library. And introduce Revi to the magic that is borrowing books from the library.
Oh my gosh. Someday they will have their own library, but for now this will suffice.
Awesome.
Library. All right, book bead.
Gotta get a book bead. Gotta catch them
Sure,
all.
but you gotta go to the library.
I went to
Rich
the library.
did go to the
with
library
Revi.
with Revi.
Yeah.
Did you check anything out?
It's assumed.
You gotta get a library card.
Yeah. You know what? Rix will have checked. Here's another thing that Rix and Megara do. Rix reads books to Megara. And so
About,
Rix,
like empathy?
no. Megara knows about empathy. He just doesn't
How to
have
make friends and
exercise all the
influence
time.
Snicks?
Yeah, he'll like check out books on the local flora and fauna and stuff like that, and just reading to Megara about the history of this area in particular.
I like to imagine that it's a lot like the Wishbone books, where Rix just reads all the stories and replaces the main characters with snakes that are now superheroes and acting them all out.
All right.
Man,
Spin-off series.
canon. Yep. Because Rix is he's a storyteller. He's a weaver of these stories, and so yeah, that's absolutely something that he does occasionally. And
then the brave Eidolon rescued the fair princess.
Yes.
Very. What about Elias?
Yeah, Elias, before heading in, he'd be looking around the room, looking around campus. He's not so much interested in libraries. He's not a fool, but he's more of a hands-on type of guy than a reader. So he's kind of looking for the closest thing he's seen to what he's looking for is like fixing kitchen implements, but that's not really what he wants to do. He wants to like swing his hammer and clang some iron and I don't know what the equivalent of a gym is, like pick up basketball at the rec center, whatever. So he's looking for anybody like him who wants to just spar or trade talk on metal armor and things of that nature. So he'd be looking for someone like that, and He's awkward. He's like your typical guy, not great at making friends. So even if he saw someone, he wouldn't know exactly what to say. But he's still looking just to see maybe where they're headed, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me bring you back to the campus map real quick. Because what Elias will find is that there's actually a sparring field over here where you find Hybrim that you met earlier, engaged in sparring practice with Essie and another woman you haven't met yet, Mariama. And if Hybrim sees you sort of lurking around the edge of the sparring field, he will invite you to join them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I happen to be in my armor and I have my hammer. Thought I was going to use it today. I didn't end up using it. It's this whole big thing. But yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah. What do we do? What are the rules? Just practice? We practice?
We could absolutely use a fourth. And he'll pair off with you. Hey, do you want to run a foot race? I see you're wearing heavy armor. I also have heavy armor, but no one will race me in heavy armor.
Well, I can see why you would think this. It's actually medium armor. I'm practicing with heavy armor. I'm not great at wearing it yet, so that's back in my room. I'm gonna get good enough. Right now I'm wearing this.
Bring it tomorrow
Yes.
and we'll practice together.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. That's great. That's great.
Yes, and they have most evenings they'll let you know that they tend to spar most evenings when they have time. And you learn that Hybrim tends to for some reason fires start around him and nobody really knows why. He also tells you about the spire out front of the dorm, which has an odd gravitational field, and if you jump off of it, you can get your hang glider to go really, really far.
Well, noted. I spend most of my time on the ground, but if I ever want to take flight, that's where I'll do it from.
Oh man, I'll show you. You can try it. It's great fun.
Awesome.
I didn't know we were getting hang gliders.
You're not getting hang gliders. Hybrim has a hang glider.
We can make it a group project. We could build a hang glider.
So we're getting hang gliders. If hang gliders can be gotten, we are getting hang gliders.
And I think that's where we'll wrap up for today. You have another assignment in the morning for your perquisite, but that's two of the, what is it? Is five houses, right? 1, 2,
Yep,
3,
5
4,
houses.
5. That's 2 down, 3 to go. Tomorrow you have the Cascade Bearers to give you an assignment, and you've learned a thing or two about campus and made some new friends. Coming right along. What a good first week.
It's been great so far.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Smooth sailing all around.
Got some chickens. We did a conga line. Knitted a hat. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to make a note to myself. Give Anchor Root hat in the morning.
Oh, yes. I'll add that to my notes too. Try and remind you. But before we go, how does your character feel about today's events? Jet?
Pretty good. We resolved most of our issues. We actually resolved all of our issues non-violently, which was great. It was kind of a team-building exercise. And then she made a new friend that was very much like her, and they have a lot in common. And that feels pretty great.
Yeah. I can see Tenzaway being like a big sister or even an aunt kind of figure for Akina.
That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah. Joel, how about Elias?
Yeah, Elias found a couple folks who are more his speed at the sparring field, so he's really pumped about that. and he was grateful to be part of a team. He loves working together with his new cohort, and while he recognizes they're all different, he really likes working together with them. So it's good first couple days. He's not feeling as awkward, and he feels like he has a good group of friends, and at least if things get bad, he at least has them. So he's feeling good.
See Elias sort of finding his place.
Yeah. Yep.
Kat, how about Revi? How's she feeling about things? They, pronouns. How are they
Pronouns.
feeling about things?
They're feeling pretty darn good. I mean, they have a group. They didn't have a group for a while they were traveling. So it's comforting to have a little cohort. And it's also comforting to have books. I don't know if it
So
was
many
mentioned
books.
before, but Revi likes books, and there's a few books around here.
Is
Wait.
Revi gonna build a book fort, kind of like a pillow fort, but of
Oh my
books?
God. How did I not think of that? That's happening.
Nice.
If
So Revi is still just in awe.
Revi's just in awe. Like, everything is amazing. And if Akina mentions a book fort, Revi builds a book fort.
Hmm.
But it has to be out of books that they own. They don't think it's right to build a book fort out of library books. That's, I don't know, disrespectful, I suppose.
Yeah. That's a thing.
So someday it'll happen.
Tom, how about Rix and Bagheera? Bagheera.
Yeah.
I just want to say Bagheera like Bagheera from. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yes, so Rix is happy that his silver tongue could be of use today. He felt like he did a lot of good work for the Magambia in these, talks. And then, yeah, like Megara was sort of reflecting on at the end of the episode, I think he's realizing that he doesn't just have to. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as it were. Grisly expression, but
Don't skin any cats.
yeah, no, Megara's not going to. He doesn't have hands. He might bite some cats, but oh man, imagine if that was like.
Cats either. Like, especially at a magic school, it's probably just a bad plan.
Yeah. So yes, that's how we're feeling. Generally, pretty self-satisfied. I feel like we did good work this week, or this episode.
And last but certainly not least, Leif, how's Marook feeling?
Marook is feeling a little chuffed that he's had to go do all of these menial tasks for the school, but he's relatively pleased that all of the peons, I mean friends of his, have been able to do all the heavy lifting, freeing his mind for greater pursuits.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Just
Why ever would you be worried?
because Leif is the player is up to something, and it's always delightful, but also a lot of work for me. That's, as the GM. That's all I'm worried about. But also, delighted and excited to see what you're going to do with it. I'm a big fan of Leif's characters, much as I am a big fan of Leif's GMing. Everyone tell Leif what a wonderful GM they are more often so that we can get them to run the next AP.
You haven't
Please.
run for me, but I assume you're a great GM. Please run a game for me.
Yes.
Oh, please, I'm so embarrassed. More.
I can tell.
As always, we'd like to thank Paizo for publishing this fantastic AP, and more specifically, the authors of this book, Kindled Magic, Alexandria Bustian and Eleanor Farron. Thank you for this spectacular content. We're having a lot of fun with it. I love all these NPCs. I know I said it last week. I'm going to keep saying it. They're fantastic. As always, shout out to Enicola for our character art. You can find her on Twitter at Enicola, Enicola, for commissions of your own characters. She's wonderful. Go hit her up. You didn't get to see much of them, but you will see more of them. We have new token markers that I got from the Roll20 Marketplace. They're very cute. They are done by Stephen Calling, whose work you can find, like I said, on the Roll20 Marketplace. These are the Isle of Lore 2 status tokens, status icons, and token markers. They're lovely. They're very cute. If you're looking for some markers for your Roll20 game, go grab them. I think they were $5 or $10.
That's a lot of those, Nick. I just looked.
They're great. I like them. They're very cute.
I think before we get too far away from it, it bears saying, yes, the NPCs are great, but you are doing a marvelous job of bringing them to life, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
Indeed.
Working on it, trying to make sure that you guys get the full bang for your buck, because these NPCs are crazy fantastic.
I really love Anchor Root.
Yeah, I like Anchor Root too. Tom, who do we have to thank for our music today?
Exclusively. Well, thank you to the Hydra. Let's try that again. Hydra. Thank you, Hydra, for the wonderful Discord bot, which does so many things, including play music. That's all we use it for. And thank you to Tabletop Audio for Rivertown, the dulcet, lovely, lush sounds of Rivertown for today's stream.
Very nice. Jet, what's coming up on Star-Lords this week?
I believe you're setting off into the field of black ice. You're trying to find and possibly infiltrate Jorgenfist, and we'll see where that gets you. Also, you're rebuilding the Heartbreaker, I believe, and we're going to get to see the new and improved Heartbreaker rebuilt from the keel up, possibly.
Yes.
I definitely won't forget to do that.
Of course not. Speaking of Star-Lords, we always need more icebreakers. Jet is always running low. I have a shiny list, none of which have been used on this show, because I have all the ones from Rise of Star-Lords and Threefold Conspiracy and Fly for Your Die that I could just reuse. But Jet needs more. So go fill out the form linked on our feedback channel on Discord. If you have anything you want to know about these characters or the Rise of Star-Lords characters or both, if you're not already a member of our Discord, why not? Come join the Non-Standard Nation and talk about the show, talk about your own games, give us advice, ask us about builds, whatever. Everybody's fantastic. We love our community, and we always want to add more nerds to it. As always, we'll be in chat over there after the show. Come by, say hi. We like it when you say hi. And without further ado, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
We'll see you next week for episode 3, Special Delivery. Until then, may your allies roll 20s and your enemies roll 1s. Stay nerdy out there, folks.